Hi all, hope this is working today, and it should be. I've tested this out pretty well, and I've found ways of putting up layered artwork like this, and we'll see how this works in the long run. Uh, but because I'm streaming from my phone, coming up with things other than a motorcycle outside your window, coming up with content that works on a phone system like this that I can't do anything else. I'm having to come up with ideas that aren't gameplay and or even doing artwork. The artwork is what I really wanted to do when I got started on all this. But so I've come up with some ideas, which is mostly chat, and so what I'm doing this time is hopefully a very loose speech, a what would be a Toastmaster speech, but very loosely, and this is probably only going to take a few minutes. But we're going to see how this works, and based on a Toastmasters concept. But it's about television and movies, and feel free to chat me if you've got an idea or comments or opinions. We'll see what happens. I've had this thought for some time now, and figured I should do something with it here as a speech or as just content. We all know that the internet is full of spoilers. People talking about TV shows and movies before you get a chance to see them yourselves, or worse, putting up clips of the show or movie on YouTube and really spoiling the most climactic bit. I just saw one just minutes ago that give an idea of something that's coming up on a new show that's going to be airing sometime today, and it's sort of like, oh, I didn't want to know that, and yet kind of is obvious. But that's the whole point of this speech. I'm even responsible for spoiling things, spoiling an important plot point to a coworker years ago, and I apologize for that terrible mistake. At least that was face to face and not to thousands of others online. But the spoilers that I want to talk about here aren't from your fellow viewers, aren't even from people on the internet, but from the studios themselves. The first spoiler you'll have is called a movie trailer, or worse, a teaser of a trailer, giving you ever so small hints at the movie to come, or on a TV or a commercial for an upcoming episode. Those are spoilers, you realize, all those things. But they're not always, they're hopefully edited in such a way that it entices you to go pay your money to go to a movie theater and watch it, or stream it, or watch a broadcast television show, whatever it is. They're trying to entice you to get it. But sometimes they give away too much. Sure, they're supposed to entice you, yet sometimes the commercials, or even the next time on promo, gives away too much of the story, or revealing who the guest star is going to be, and you know at once what the story is going to be about. Have you ever seen a guest appearance on a show, and because you've seen them on other shows, you know at once what their character is going to be, and that means you know what type of episode or story it's going to be about? As to the trailers, here's a memory that I've learned about years ago. Many years ago, probably back in the 1960s. someone made a movie about Hercules, and the movie was so bad that the trailer that was released was every single usable, worth good scene in the movie. That if you saw the trailer, you didn't need to see the rest of the movie because you saw the movie. All of it, all the rest of it was so bad, even the studios themselves knew it was that bad. So the trailer is probably the only thing you would ever need for that story in that movie. But what else happens? How else do they mess up and spoil a movie or a TV show beforehand? Sometimes I think it's in the casting announcements. Several weeks ago, Marvel, Disney announced the actors in the new Fantastic Four movie. Knowing who the stars are of the film are great. That's important. You know, you need the brains, the beauty, the rock-covered muscle, and the hotshot. That's the Fantastic Four. And you put those in different situations. What's important about the Fantastic Four is they are a family. And no story for a Fantastic Four will work if it isn't about family. However, the studios also went ahead and released the names of supporting actors in the movie. Any casting announcement beyond the leads is a spoiler to me. We now know that Ralph Ineson will be playing Galactus, which means immediately that the villain is, or maybe not even the villain, the big threat is Galactus, which means it's a cosmic space story in which Galactus comes to Earth. If you know anything about the history of the Fantastic Four, knowing that Galactus is in the movie, and that we can assume this is the first appearance of Galactus, we know this is a world-threatening story. I mean, if he shows up, he's hungry, and the end of the world is near. And after that, the spoilers really hit the fan. They also announced who the actress is going to be playing Silver Surfer. Julia Gardner is the actress. I have no problem with an actress playing the Silver Surfer, and there is a female herald, Shalla-Bal, in the comics, a herald of Galactus, a character that goes ahead of Galactus searching for worlds to consume. And so casting for her character instead of Silver Surfer is fine with me. But of course, there was an internet uproar that lasted 5 minutes over this. They didn't like the idea of a woman playing the role, or who knows whatever reason. But again, the very fact that a female Silver Surfer, Shalla-Bal, is a character in this thing also tells you a lot about the plot. And just knowing the characters, knowing who the actors are going to be playing, tells you a lot about the movie before you even know anything about the movie. My complaint is that the casting announcements, like I just said, have a pretty good idea of what the plot of the movie is. It shows you what the movie is about. It's okay to announce that Ralph Ineson and Julia Gardner will be in the movie. But do we need to know in advance who they're playing? That's my big thing. Not this early. When the promos come out, maybe when the posters come out, but even a poster with their likenesses in it tells a whole lot. If it's a poster of just the Fantastic Four, maybe of their rocket ship going off into space from Earth, that basically tells you about the Fantastic Four. Now, if you show an image, if you have something shooting across the poster, a bright white or golden light, well, that'll be the Silver Surfer. But if you do it in such a way, it's a hint, and you have no clue what that is unless you're so well known about the FF that you know at once what it is. And even more so. But if they put a shadow of a figure of shadow casting across them, or across the planet Earth of a human form, then that tells us even more that this is going to be a Galactus film. If you show him full out in costume, that gives away so much. And do we really want to know all that much to start with? That's my complaint. I want to go see the Fantastic Four and be surprised by the story that they tell. I hope it's a good story, but I want to be surprised by it. And, reading comics in advance, there are some things you're not going to be surprised about, but you want to know that their version of it. But to give away so much of the story in just the casting announcements or the poster, that might just give away too much. And maybe people aren't going to want to go see it, or maybe people will. That's up to you. Another example is in the current season of Doctor Who. Not long after the Christmas special, which introduced Millie Gibson as Ruby Sunday, the new companion to the Doctor, within weeks after, they were announcing who the next companion is going to be. Varada Sotho, which I probably messed up the name, and I apologize in advance. The internet immediately screams that the current companion is being fired, which of course is stupid. But by seeing the first episodes, or even the Christmas special itself, if you've already seen it, gives you hints at Ruby's story and where we're headed. There's a good likelihood, just from what we know in that first episode, or in these first few episodes that have aired, that she's probably not going to be around after the end of this season. There's nothing wrong. Maybe she will be. But telling us this far in advance that you've already cast the next companion says that we're already done with Ruby's story. Forget it. Start paying attention to what's coming up ahead. And that's just plain frustrating. To tell us about something down the road when we're sitting here wanting to enjoy what's in front of us now. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. That's my opinion. But so these announcements are ultimately a spoiler in advance. And if River Song had anything to do, she'd be telling you, no spoilers. But I know people are interested in wanting to know the next thing that's coming. But why not sit and relax and enjoy what you have now? Or wait till the movie actually comes out to discover all the secrets of who these actors are, what the roles they're playing, and how the story rolls out. Enjoying the story, no matter who the casting is. And the casting is important to tell that story, but that story's got to come first. Just don't give away the story in advance just because you're celebrating and telling us who the cast is going to be. Maybe this is just my opinion and doesn't mean anything, but that's how my views are on it all. What we need to know is who the leads are if you're going to help promote it as a blockbuster. Yeah, But everything else after that, we need to hear and see the movie and enjoy it firsthand. If that makes any sense to you. So, that's enough me spoiling your afternoon with my stream and ideas. And thank you very much for being there. And I appreciate your help and listening to my ramble of spoils. Take care. See you around. Yep. Bye-bye.